PlayStation 4 players have been spoiled with quality kart races lately, like Crash Team Racing Nitro Refueled, Team Sonic Racing, and Garfield Kart. But none of these games offer PlayStation VR support, which is a missed opportunity. Enter Touring Karts, a new indie kart racer from Spanish developer Ivanovich Games that aims to fill this void. Touring Karts was originally released on Steam and is now available on PlayStation 4 with PSVR support. Comparisons to Mario Kart are inevitable, right down to the cheerful soundtrack and colourful visuals. But while the game shares some similarities with Mario Kart, Touring Karts has more in common with F1 Race Stars, Codemasters' forgotten F1 kart racing spin-off released last generation. Even the tiny Formula 1 style karts have team racing liveries that are clearly inspired by Ferrari and Red Bull. The game's 22 tracks are also inspired by real-world F1 circuits. You'll instantly recognise landmarks like the tunnels from Monaco, but these are exaggerated fantasy versions with sudden elevations and giant hazards to avoid, like AT-AT Walker-style robots and giant monkeys throwing barrels at you. Each track has a distinct and colourful art style. It's just a shame that none of the tracks have any shortcuts, as this would have added an element of strategy. Many of the circuits are also too short and too narrow, making it difficult to avoid collisions. Touring Karts shares similarities with other kart races, but it also puts its own unique spin on the genre. No kart racing game is complete without some crazy power-ups. Each track is littered with power-ups for you to pick up, ranging from banana peels, ice blocks and rocket launchers, to giant chickens that stomp down the track and crush your competitors. In a unique twist, every weapon can also be combined to create an even more extreme power-up. Combining the hammer with an ice cube, for example, creates a giant ice hammer that freezes opponents when you hit them. I can't think of any other racing game that lets you blast opponents with a banana bazooka. The action is gloriously chaotic and often looks like something out of a Looney Tunes cartoon when you see opponents get flattened by giant hammers. Sometimes the action can get a bit too chaotic though, as it's difficult to defend yourself from enemy attacks and the giant hazards are difficult to dodge. The unpredictability of the power-ups also makes it difficult to plot your attacks, but it's a lot of fun to try all the different combinations. In total, there are 50 weapon combinations to unlock, and each one earns you a PlayStation 4 trophy. I'm not usually a trophy hunter, but it only took me a few hours to earn a platinum trophy. However, I do wish there were some other trophies that rewarded you for other achievements, like completing cups. Playing Touring Karts in VR is a lot of fun. Each environment has a superb sense of scale, the visuals are sharp and vibrant, and using motion controls with the DualShock or Move controller to physically grab a weapon and throw it at an opponent really adds to the immersion. Aiming a rocket launcher and shooting it at an opponent is extremely satisfying, and you can also look behind you to set traps for opponents. There's some really inventive use of VR too. One viewpoint lets you play the game from a virtual arcade machine to prevent motion sickness. Win a race and the game will show a first-person view of you standing on the podium. You can even taunt your defeated rivals by waving the trophy in front of their faces. The sensitive handling did sometimes make me feel slightly dizzy, so I recommend turning the steering sensitivity down. Other than that, I didn't experience any motion sickness. If you are prone to motion sickness, however, there are lots of comfort settings you can apply. Steering the karts feels a bit floaty, but the controls are very responsive, making the game easy to pick up and play. Holding the accelerator and brake at the same time when going around corners also activates a drift. This often feels clunky and takes time adjusting to, but it's also the fastest way to navigate the tight tracks. I was also pleasantly surprised by the number of different ways you can play Touring Karts. You can use a DualShock 4 controller with or without motion controls, PlayStation Move controllers, a steering wheel, and even the PlayStation 3D rudder foot motion controller that I forgot even existed. Combining a steering wheel with a Move controller is the most immersive way to play, while I found the game easier to play with a DualShock 4 controller. In career mode, Touring Karts replicates an entire F1 season of 22 races, which can be played in 3 difficulties. As part of a recent game update, a new card system lets you update your kart's performance, improving the game's sense of progression. Completing bonus objectives in each race, such as finishing in a certain position, holding a drift for several seconds, or flattening a certain amount of opponents with a giant chicken in one race, also unlocks coins that can be used to customise your kart with decals, spoilers, and custom horns. It really adds to the game's replay value. With 22 tracks, 30 cars, and over 500 challenges, Touring Karts offers a lot of value for money, especially when you consider it only costs $15.99 on the PlayStation Store. However, I do think some additional game modes such as time trials, battle modes, or even just an option to play races without power-ups would have added more gameplay variety. Touring Karts also offers online multiplayer support for up to 8 players. There's no waiting around in lobbies. Online sessions start instantly, with AI drivers filling out the grid until online players join. Sadly though, I couldn't find any servers with online players to race against. Daily online tournaments are also available, offering rewards to unlock new cars. Touring Karts can also be played without a PSVR headset, but without VR, the game loses some of its appeal. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun to play, but the sense of speed is greatly reduced. Touring Karts has been out for a few months now, and the game's post-release support has been excellent. Since the game was released, several updates have improved the VR visuals, added force feedback support for steering wheels, and expanded the career mode. A mobile version of the game is also being released, which should work well. I can definitely see Touring Karts playing well on mobile devices. With its chaotic power-up combos, fantasy F1 tracks and immersive VR, Touring Karts is a fun-packed kart racer that every PSVR owner should play. This is probably the closest we're going to get to playing Mario Kart in VR on a home console. So those are my thoughts on Touring Karts. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more racing gaming content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.